Hello and welcome to the YoungFolkKnits channel. Today, let's chat all about the 10 cardigans you didn't know you needed. Hello y'all and welcome to YoungFolkKnits. My name is Casey, and here on this channel, I mainly like to chat about my love of all things fiber arts. Mostly knitting, but sometimes crochet, cross stitch, spinning, sewing, and really whatever else tickles my fancy at the moment. I also love to share about living on a small farm here in Arkansas, where my husband and I and our children are beekeepers. We love to raise chickens, gardens, and spending time outdoors here in the foothills of the Ozarks. So if any of that sounds like your cup of tea, then please make sure and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any new content. Today I want to chat all about the 10 cardigans you didn't know you needed. And you know how in school for your senior year, they did those little things where, you know, so-and-so was most likely to do this, or, you know, they fit into each category. I forgot what that's called. I think they're called superlatives, maybe? Maybe I'm making it up. Let's play that game with these cardigans too. All of these cardigans that I've picked out are some that I would absolutely love to make and wear, and I think that there's an endless option of color choices for these cardigans, which make it super fun for different seasons, different yarn bases, and fiber content, and I think that opens up a world of possibilities for each of these cardigans. Let's start off with the cardigan you're most likely to wear while hanging out with your granny chic friends who all think they still live in the 80s. And that is the Koran Cardigan. It is a pattern by Ravelry Knits, and it's published on the Knit Collage website. And I just think it's so cute. It definitely has the crocheted granny squares, but it's knit up at an Aran weight gauge. I think it would go so fast. The hook size is a 10 millimeter or an NP hook. It kind of looks like the sleeves are then knit, but they might be crocheted as well. I think what's really cool is that if you purchase the video class on their website, then it says that they will guide you through every step of how to make the cardi from start to finish. Yeah, the sleeves are knit and the granny squares, of course, are crocheted, but it looks so fun. And those granny squares are very granny chic. It has sizes from 32 inches to 64 inch bust, so I think that's fairly good. Next up, we have the cardigan you're most likely to wear while listening to Taylor Swift breakup songs and quietly crying while you rethink all of your life choices.
Say what you wanna say to me. I don't need your sympathy. I just need to let you go.
And that would be the Folklore Cardigan. This is a free pattern from Lion Brand Yarns. It is also knit up in Aran weight, and it uses Lion Brand woolies. So I think that's a great yarn. I think it's a great weight to knit up a cabled cardigan in. Aran weight just seems to fly whenever you're knitting cables, so I love that. I also think this is just a super fun cardigan for anybody, whether you're a Taylor Swift fan or not. But if you are a Taylor Swift fan, it's epic. Next up, we have the cardigan you're most likely to wear all spring and summer. And that is the Koran Cardigan by Rebecca Clow. It is a pattern that Rebecca just recently released. It is a worsted weight gauge, and she used Cascade 220 and Pearl Soho knitting yarn, but with that worsted weight gauge, I think that the possibilities are just endless. I also think to make this pattern a really nice spring and summer cardigan, I think it would be really fun if you use a base that had some cotton, fiber, linen, or silk in it. Any plant-based fiber, even bamboo, is going to give you a lot of breathability. Plus you have this lacy open fabric from the design itself. I think if you mix these together, you could potentially wear it all summer. The short sleeve option I think is so cute. Plus you can do V-neck, or you can do, I think, scoop neck, or a regular full neck option. So I love the versatility of this pattern, and I think you can make it even more fun with lots of different colors. So this one is a must for everybody to have a summer cardigan. Next up is the cardigan most likely to be worn while walking down a sandy beach in the winter. And that would be the Winnies Beach Cardi. This is a pattern by Andrea Mowry, and it is a DK weight pattern. I absolutely love the cables on it, but something I find is a small detail, but one that I love, are the pockets on this. I really like the pockets. I like the drop shoulder, and it looks like a cozy cardigan, but I think the DK weight sort of helps keep it from being too warm. So I absolutely love the details on this. She made it out of Hedgehog Fibers Tweety. I actually have yarn to make this, and I've got the Sonder Yarn DK in a brown cognac color. I can't remember the name of the specific color at the moment, but I think there are so many woolly DK options that would just make those cables pop. So this is really a beautiful classic sweater. Next up, we have the cardigan most likely to be worn on a first date. The pattern Romance, which is by Tricot Design MCL. So this is a DK weight gauge, but they hold lace and fingering, a mohair and fingering weight to get this gauge. And I think that the scalloped edging and the lightly ballooning sleeves gives it a major touch of romance. I love that they didn't take the sleeves too far though. They're not super huge, which could be, you know, a little dramatic. I think they steered on the less is more side. So I really love it. It has sizes up to 5XL, and I think you could really get creative with the buttons on this. I think this would be so pretty tucked into jeans or tucked into a high-waisted skirt, and I would absolutely love to make one of these. Next up, we have the cardigan you're most likely to be worn while camping and posing for social media profile pics. And that is the Campsite Waffle Cardigan by Alexandra Tavel, or Two of Wands. So for this cardigan, she used an Aran weight gauge, and she has the Lion Brand Feels Like Butter yarn used in the sample. It has a nice range of sizes, and it just looks so cozy. I absolutely love that waffle stitch pattern. I think that the texture gives it something really fun in a solid color though. I really love the color that she chose, and if I made it, I would probably make it in the same color. In fact, I love her entire outfit. The way she has modeled it definitely has a relaxed, slouchy fit, but she doesn't let it swallow her up. The size that she has chosen, I would say, doesn't have a lot of positive ease. It still looks like it fits her pretty well. So I absolutely love this pattern. It is going on my list, especially before I go camping. I may need to update my profile picture. Next up, we have the pattern most likely to transition well from sweatpants to snowboarder core. That is the Sunbird Cardigan, and it is a pattern by Julie McKessie. I actually really love this pattern. It looks so fun. It has that really awesome modern earthy vibe to it. I think the color work is really fun, but I also love the fact that it's not an all over color work. In fact, it may even be intarsia because I only see it down the back panel. This is a worsted weight gauge, so again, this is going to knit up fairly quickly with US 10 or 6mm needles. I think that this would be very warm, very cozy, very cool. I think that Cascade yarn worsted base would be absolutely fabulous for this pattern. That woolly yarn is gonna really stick with the color work and hold it in place. And I think that the shawl collar would be nice and cozy in a warm woolly yarn. Next up, we have the cardigan you're most likely to wear on your European trip abroad. That is the Cari Cardigan by Natasha Hornby of Moonstruck Knits. This is an absolutely gorgeous color work sweater which has a sport weight gauge, and it's just so striking. I think as soon as you see it, you need it. I personally really love the colors shown in the original sample. I think that the contrast between that creamy pale color and the dark navy or black color just looks so good together. I think it would go with anything, and you've got a great amount of contrast that's going to show off all of that beautiful color work. It looks like mosaic knitting to me, and I think that's probably what it is. Those slip stitches make for some pretty easy color work knitting, which is a good thing if it is a all over color work sweater. Next up, we have the cardigan you're most likely to wear while rollerblading to the record store to listen to your favorite vinyls. And that is the Bookkeeper Cardigan, which is a pattern by Taylor E. Owen. And this has a super retro feel about it, especially the colors that she chose. I love the stripes. I love the textured button band and the bottom ribbing. I think it's just really fun, really retro, and really cool. And if you dig that 70s vibe, which I do, then I think you could totally rock this and look like the screen siren goddess that Taylor E. Owen is herself. And last up, we have the cardigan you're most likely to look fabulous in no matter what you're doing. And that is the August Cardigan by Joanna Garish, or Colibri by Joanna. This is a DK weight gauge. She used lace and DK weight for it, and I would be lying if I didn't say the color she used drew me in, but I stayed for the cables. The cables, the V-neck, the color, the buttons, it's perfection. I would absolutely love to wear this tucked into some high-waisted jeans just like she modeled it. I think it would be absolutely fabulous styled with almost anything. And I'm pretty sure that you couldn't pick a better color than the one she was wearing. But honestly, this would be so classic in a cream, a gray, a beige, a brown, a golden honey brown. So many things that I think this would look beautiful in. I'm really drawn to V-neck sweaters right now, and I think this just completely fits the bill for an amazing sweater. So she uses Filcolana Tilia and Filcolana Pernilla. The Pernilla is a DK weight, 100% wool plaid yarn. And while I have a lot of trouble finding Filcolana in stock anywhere here in the US, you can order this from the UK and you can usually get it pretty quickly. The thing I love about Filcolana is it is very reasonably priced. It was so hard to pick just 10. Honorable mention goes to the Winterfell cardigan for most flattering, the Marija cardigan for most beautifully styled pictures, and the Greystoke cardigan for most dramatic sleeves. I'm going to link the Ravelry bundle that includes all of these patterns plus many more that I just did not have time to mention, but I love them all, and maybe you will find one that will inspire you to cast on your next cardigan. If you enjoy videos like this, then make sure and subscribe. It helps my channel out so very much. And as always, I appreciate every like, comment, and share. Until we chat again, happy knitting, y'all.